Hello everybody, one more week and here we are at No Cover. I'm your host, Carla Herrera, and we have a very special guest today. She comes from Cambridge and she's a stand-up comic, or I'd say comedian. And she usually is there Sundays at 8 p.m. at Comedy Studio, so you can find her there. Her name is Erin Judge and she's with us tonight, so let's welcome her, please.
Hi, Carla. Thank you for having me here. I love what you've done.
Well, no, it's always a pleasure to have such a good opinion from a comic.
Oh, yes.
You could kill us right now. So tell me, how did you get started into this whole comedian thing?
Well, I started doing stand-up comedy when I was in, after I graduated from college. I started doing improv comedy when I was in college, and that was because I was rejected from every single a cappella group that asked me to try out. So I was devastated that I wasn't going to be a great singer. So I tried out for the improv comedy troupe, and they let me in, and I realized I didn't really like to sing. The whole anyway.
You didn't, did you?
No. I like to perform, and I loved performing comedy. Ever since I first started, making people laugh is the most intoxicating thing.
It must be pretty gratifying.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And being a comedian has given me a lot of really interesting opportunities. Like, I've been doing comedy 4 years now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How long have you been doing
about
this?
4 years since I graduated college.
Okay.
And you know, in that time, I've started hosting my own show. I've been on the cover of a magazine. I've had a lot of really interesting opportunities.
So how is it that you come up with the jokes? Because the whole comedian thing blocks me completely.
Well, you know, it starts with just sort of observing what's going on in society. I like to think of myself as a social commentator, kind of like in the style of Chris Rock or somebody like that, who talks about not necessarily political stuff, but stuff that, you know, affects society. Like, I talk a lot about sexuality and gender and body image issues and, you know, things like that. I think of myself as like a critic of the culture.
That's what I was going to say. Do actually comedians differ from themselves? Is there a way that you can actually say I'm different from him because...
Oh yeah, like even just within one show you'll see so many different styles. Like some comedians are observational, kind of like, you know, Jerry Seinfeld or Ellen DeGeneres popularized that whole style. And then, I mean, there's a lot of social commentators, there's people like Chris Rock, like I was saying, and then there's this whole new incarnation of absurdist comedy from people like Dimitri Martin and Eugene Merman, who are kind of harkening back to like the days of like Woody Allen, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting what they're doing.
Well, there is a lot of history. That's what I'm finding out about comedy.
Yeah,
something that I was thinking, if I was a comedian, I'd be terrified about hecklers. That's something that would scare me to death.
Oh, hecklers.
How do you feel about those?
Well, you know, it's funny because when you get a comment from the audience, you never want to go right, like nail them right away. You kind of play with them a little bit, but if somebody just won't shut up, you gotta like go for the jugular.
And you will
talk about their mama.
So you do get back at them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right there on stage.
You have to, or else they'll think that you're their little bitch, and you don't want that.
Oh, so you're full of adrenaline completely. You have to defend yourself.
Exactly.
You're on the floor.
And you try to be smooth about it too. You can't be too aggressive. You have to be. It has to be like butter.
I hear that there's a lot of males here. Being a woman, does it make it harder when it comes to that?
I think that being a woman in this field, there's some advantages and there's some disadvantages. Like, for example, the advantages are, as a woman, they want to show diversity on a showcase. They'll put more women on. You know, you'll get to different opportunities faster, including things like television.
Right.
The disadvantage is that in some ways, that means that a lot of women are showcased maybe before their male peers who are at the same level. So the women are less prepared or less experienced when they first get that break. And so it can sometimes make it seem like women aren't as funny. Or, you know, and that's always the accusation. I think that within the comedy community, that's not so much true anymore, but I do think that audiences still hesitate for just a split second.
Oh, they do, huh?
Yeah.
They do, huh?
But not you guys. Your audience is completely progressive.
I think No Cover doesn't do that kind of thing. We're pro everything, starting up, that kind of thing. And so tell me, what is the ultimate thing you'd see yourself doing in the future?
You know, I love performing stand-up, and I also do a lot of sketch comedy and stuff like that, and I adore it. But I've found that I really like translating it into writing. I've been doing some screenwriting lately, and I'm really thinking about getting into maybe even television writing, because coming out of a stand-up background, you just get really good with punchlines and timing and things like that that translate really well into into writing scripts.
Right.
And it's a set of skills that not everybody who wants to do that kind of thing has. Right. So
Because-
it's fun because I can always perform stand-up, you know, no matter what my career ultimately looks like, and it will be in the comedy industry, but, you know, I can always go back to the stage because
that's
it's
something
very
that
organic type
you'll
thing.
always have,
Exactly.
basically.
And if I'm not like touring the country, like, you know, I don't know, Larry the Cable Guy, selling lighters at gas stations, I'll be okay with that.
Well, yeah, we hope that you'll be doing something like that. And so, so you'll ultimately, sorry, now I get a bit blabbly. You'll ultimately be writing, and then you'll ultimately be being a stand-up comedian for the rest of the rest, and hopefully, if you're gonna be getting ready now, we'll be seeing you soon.
Ooh.
Will we?
Yeah, you know, I think I brought my game.
Okay, then 5 more minutes. Please don't go away. We'll be just 2 seconds, and she'll be back to perform. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Erin, for being with us. And let's see you back here at No Cover. Don't forget